Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're doing something a little bit different, which is really not my field. Um, but I wanted to discuss these three topics a little bit and get information from other people, myself, and give information that I know. So that's why we're here today. And I respect everyone's opinion. And a lot of it is opinion. And hopefully we can get some fact checking along the lines too about tax refunds, stimulus, um, and COVID. I do notice that today is the day that the Senate will be voting on the stimulus package, and then it'll go to the House of Representatives, and hopefully they can get it all passed through and to Biden's desk, as I know a lot of people definitely need the help. So we're going to wait for some people to jump in here, and hopefully that won't be too long. But let's see. I did make some notes here. I know a lot of people are waiting for their refunds. Some people have got their refunds from their taxes. And I mean, there is a big thing about, I guess the IRS has slowed down a bit about getting things done because of COVID and the stimulus checks. That's kind of slowed things down. They've had to change the software, wait for the software to get updated and things like that. And so I'm sure that's had a big effect on it. Plus, from what I've heard, they're still processing um, all the way back to 2019 taxes, and so that's pretty slow going. So, of course, in the middle of that, I'm sure we don't all know what the IRS really does. I'm sure they're with the joyful thing of doing audits and things like that, and um, fixing problems with people's taxes, words being misspelled, numbers being put in incorrectly. They have to recalculate everything for them, and all kinds of other errors that they have to deal with. I'm sure probably it should be a lot faster process now that everything's electronic. And of course, we all assume that computers pretty much handle everything now, which they probably do for the most part. But computers do have errors too, especially when you're talking of millions and millions of tax information on different people and companies, corporations. A lot of stuff that has to get filed. In fact, myself this year I had to file because last year I was buying stocks. Never realized that it was going to be a lot more uh, paperwork involved doing your taxes. And frankly, for what little bit of stock purchases I made, it probably wasn't worth the paperwork. It's just penny stocks here and there and stuff like that. But it's still a lot of extra stuff to do. You have to, you either have to put it in manually or you have to go to the company will let you download the stuff that you need, or you can actually go online and log into Apex or whatever, and they can get the information from your account there. In fact, my returns been delayed some, and I think it's because I didn't get one of the returns for the W-2G, I think it's called, from Robinhood, and because they were late getting them out. But I went ahead and did my taxes anyway, thinking that maybe I'd get lucky and it would already be put into that system. I just didn't see it up on Robinhood yet. Probably didn't happen, but we'll see. Of course, the IRS has all the information anyway. It's just that I assume it takes longer for them to get it or to retrieve it themselves. So we'll find out. I've been waiting, I think, 22 days now, 23 days. So I'm actually over the 21-day. They say if you don't get your taxes within 21 days to call, I'm going to give them a little bit more time and see what happens with that. There are a lot of error codes, which I knew there was error codes, but we'll have to find out. In fact, for a while there, I was getting I think it was a 152 error, but it was their side software. Within a few days, it went away. My information, for some unknown reason, wasn't matching for 2 or 3 days. Then all of a sudden it was. So if any of you are watching this and you've had that error, don't panic. It's usually something that will go away in a couple of days. So anyways, we're waiting for people. Let's see. I do know that I've talked to people that I know have been getting their refunds already, quite some time ago, actually, at least a couple of weeks ago, I think. I actually did file early for anyone that wants to know. I mean, they didn't accept taxes until the 12th, but I actually filed on the 11th, and I did get the notice that said that it was accepted. I've still not got a refund date, but I'm sure that's because of whatever delay there is. But we'll soon find out. I'm probably going to call before the end of next week and find out what's going on. As I've had it get delayed before, and they had to check out something. There are a bunch of codes that I did write down that people might be curious about. If you get a 9001 code, they may be holding your return for an ID verification, which means they've got to verify your identity. It didn't say whether they actually mail you something to identify yourself or you have to call in to identify yourself some way. Maybe both. Maybe you get I would think probably you'd get a notice in the mail to call a specific number with maybe a case number or something. I don't know if anybody knows of that. Please leave it in the comment. It's something that people probably would like to know. I didn't see it in the code listing any more than what I just said. There's a 1001 error. That means the refund preparer. Not refund preparer. The refund paper check was mailed 4 weeks ago. And I don't know why you'd get an error for that, but apparently some people do. A 1021 1021 is a BFS part offset check mailed over 4 weeks ago, and they want you to call a number, which is 1-800-304-3107. Then there's another code that's related to the same thing, which is a 1061 BFS offset direct deposit error. Means it was over 1 week ago. And to call that same number, which was 1-800-304-3107. If you get an error 1081, a full or part offset direct deposit was done over 1 week ago. That was a direct deposit, not mail. A 1101 is a no data taxpayer filed over 6 weeks ago. Evidently, there's missing some data because that's pretty much all it said. It really didn't clarify what data was missing. A 1102 is an electronic plus 3 weeks ago that it was filed. 1121 is a problem with a typo on the return, which that is probably most likely something they would probably fix, or they might need to talk to you, or they'll send a letter to correct it or explain whatever it was that was the error. A 1141, a refund delay, meaning that goes with that is you owe the government taxes or you owe somebody money. So that 1141, that's what that means. So they must be holding, I'm assuming they hold your refund until they figure out whether they're going to be able to be taking the money out of the refund, or it may be something that has to be settled some other way. An 1161 refund delay due to bankruptcy. I never even knew there was a problem with delaying your tax refund because of bankruptcy. So I'm assuming possibly the refund might possibly be put into the bankruptcy court and used to help settle debt. And that's the only thing I can think of. If anybody else has any information on that or has experienced it, definitely leave a comment and let people know. I'm sure it will be helpful for people. A 1181 was the one that probably most people don't want to get. It's called, well, that one's pulled for a review. Also, a 1221 is for a review. So they're both basically for a review, the same thing basically, and you'll have to see what happens on the review. Hey, Ken, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. I thought I'd try something a little bit different today. Of course, I had some questions on the topics myself and was hoping that, thinking other people had questions about tax refunds, stimulus checks, and COVID and things, and thought it might be a good way to bring some people together a little bit and get people maybe involved in the channel some too. I was just kind of going over some IRS error codes for people because people have a lot of questions about that, especially the 152 error, which evidently is just a software error mostly, some kind of a glitch in the system or something processing too fast or the machine's overload or something. I actually got one of those this year for about 3 days, and then it went away. And most people seem to be experiencing the same thing. But I don't know if you've been watching the news, but today the Senate will be voting on the stimulus package after they finally got Joe Manchin to agree to change the unemployment benefit, which the package was $400, and he agreed to the $300. But they also are booting in there a $10,200 tax relief credit, which actually kind of amounts to the same thing. Hey, Florence, how you doing? I had a feeling you might drop in today since it was during the day. Doing something a little bit different today, as I was telling Ken. I've watched a lot of these channels about people being really confused about different subjects. So even though it's not anything to do with painting, I thought it'd be a good thing to do a live stream on. And maybe we'll get lucky and get a few subscribers out of it too. Who knows? But a lot of questions about people's tax refunds and stimulus checks and COVID especially. I'm not sure how it is over where you live, Florence, but I think as of today, I just heard that the United States is doing like 2 million shots a day. It's not too bad. But the general population, the last I knew, I haven't looked recently, but I heard only about 50% of Americans really, trust the shot yet. Of course, there's a lot of confusion with the different brands, with Pfizer being almost 100%, 97% or something like that. But then Johnson& Johnson comes out, which is only like 70 something percent effective. So it makes people wonder, why would you want something that's not somewhere closer to 100%? But then you got people saying, well, even if it's 78 or 73% or whatever it is, it's probably better than nothing. But I guess if you get COVID, it wasn't better than nothing because it was only 73% or whatever. So what do you think, Florence, you don't have much to do with the, stimulus over here, I guess, or anything, but I'm a s I wouldn't be surprised if Ireland's probably doing a better job at stimulating their economy than the United States is. It seems like a lot of other countries are doing a lot better at it than the US, and we're supposed to be the so-called big shots, yet we don't seem to have anything under control very well. Of course, if Congress would stop fighting with each other constantly and totally making a circus out of politics, maybe they could get something done. I started the stream at 1:30, so you were it wasn't long before you joined up. I thought the title might actually bring a lot of people in here, but I might be wrong. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if the Ireland is doing way better than the United States, economy-wise, Florence. I really wouldn't be surprised at all. Did is Ireland participating in, are they doing any kind of stimulus for the people over there? Be nice to know. Are they? I think Canada was doing like a monthly stimulus up there. That was a while back I heard about that, but they were actually doing a monthly one. And the last I knew, I didn't think that Canada was overly wealthy, but then again, they might be when we don't know about it. I don't know. I think even the UK, England, whatever, over there, I think they were doing stimulus checks. I don't know if they were doing them monthly or not, but they might have been. I don't know. You'd know before I would, Florence, probably because I haven't really seen that. Well, see, that's a great thing. I'm assuming that's some sort of, is that the same as unemployment or something besides unemployment, or is it an added benefit to them? I know I did hear the US was talking about if you were unemployed and you got unemployment, they would add another $100 a month, which is a separate thing. I don't know if that's taken into effect yet or if that's gonna be part of the new stimulus package they're voting on today. Yeah, that's good. Like, they giving them a set amount, or is it a percentage of their pay or something? I hope it's more than the $100 a month the United States is so-called promising to give extra to people that were self-employed, a set amount. Well, that's great. That's good. Hopefully it's like I said, I hope it's more than $100 a month like the US is talking about. Yeah, we're supposed to be one of the wealthiest countries in the world, or supposedly. Of course, I mean that we got one heck of a deficit now, but um, we don't seem to be doing too well with it. Then the fact of sending money to millions and millions to other countries when we're in debt already, which I really don't agree with that. I understand other people do need help, but like me, Doc, and Recon talked about one day was, you know, you gotta fix your own country first. We got people in this country starving, and so we shouldn't be feeding other countries until we can feed our own people. Not that I'm being greedy or nothing. It's just that I just think that's the way it should be. That's my opinion, anyway. It's like your home. You fix your home problems first, then worry about other people. It's kind of hard to feed other people's children when your own children are hungry. That's really my meaning. I mean, I have nothing against helping other countries. And I think other countries probably need it. But in the same token, we should be solving some issues in this country that have been long ignored. There's a lot of homeless people, and granted, a lot of them homeless people are really scammers. I've seen. I mean, they had these shows on TV and whatever that prove some of them are without a doubt scammers, claiming to be homeless. They've been followed home and in practically a new car and a beautiful apartment or house or whatever. But there are people that are truly homeless. Unfortunately, the homeless people got an even worse um, rap, so to speak, when a few people were really scamming people. So it's probably a very small percentage that are scamming people compared to the real homeless people. So now they have to suffer because people were scamming other people, which it's a shame. That's really a shame, especially with the pandemic going on, the stimulus, unemployment, everything else. Now, it's making a lot more people homeless. Ken or Florence, which one of you guys did you guys do a thumbs up before the show started today? I know somebody did besides myself and my wife. I just wondered if it was one of you guys that did it. I actually kind of thought it might have been a Recon, but I don't know if he works on Saturday or not. Of course, he might have been watching from work. In fact, last night's stream, I shut it down early because all there was Recon and I. That was the only ones that were on. No one else showed up. We kept it going for probably at least 45 minutes, maybe an hour, something like that. We were kind of hoping Doc might show up too, but he never did. And neither did Brad. He was supposed to show up last night, but he didn't. So how's the weather over there today, Florence? Yeah, I told you just the other day that Brad was supposed to come on last night, but he didn't come on last night either. Maybe because it was just me and Doc here, he just didn't bother to come in. I had talked to him the day before, the day he was supposed to come on at first when I told you guys, but he fell asleep for like 4 hours and missed it. So he did type me back at like 1 o'clock in the morning and told me he was going to be on last night, or he was going to try to be. Oh, hello, Jennifer. No problem, Florence. Make me some too. I want some coffee too, but I should have made some before the stream started. How are you today, Jennifer? I actually thought the stream might get really busy today because of the topics. And I was a little bit concerned. I wasn't sure if any of my friends here would show up to help moderate. I was a little weary that maybe it might get filled up with trolls. I'm not sure. I know they're going to vote on the stimulus. The Senate votes today. I'm not sure what time, but if it passes the Senate, then that'll be pretty much a done deal because the House of Representatives will definitely push it through and get it on Biden's desk, which they're actually going to be about, I think they said 4 days ahead of schedule, which is great. So it'll depend on when the House of Representatives votes on it too after that. So it was you, Jennifer, that put the thumbs up. Okay. I just saw that. I was trying to piece together with what you said I did. She might have lost connection there, Ken. I think she has to almost stand outside just to talk on the phone or to get on the phone. So her connection's not really that great usually. Oh, there she's talking. So Jennifer, what do you think of the new camera? I think it makes it look a lot better now. Of course, it's daylight. That helps too. You've been watching? Were you here last night too? You sneak? Don't tell me you were here watching when Recon and I were here by ourselves last night and didn't say nothing. Excuse me. I'm really surprised that we're not getting a lot more people in here. Or you were here last night? You know, you only live about 2 miles away. I could come up there and thrash you for that. Making me and Recon sitting here by ourselves last night, and you didn't even say a word. What do you do with a daughter like that, Ken? Get the beating stick out, I guess. I see how you are. Did Caitlin show you her sapphire necklace that we bought her for her birthday, Jennifer? Ah, well, you weren't on last night. That's good then. I didn't want to have to go up there and thrash you for that. Well, I was up till, gosh, 1:30 last night, I think. I got watching a movie. I was gonna go to bed about early for me, 12:30 last night, but I got watching a movie and didn't. But the Coming to America 2 was pretty good. It was pretty funny. Some of it was a few things are kind of stupid in that movie, but it was still funny. Oh, God. Well, evidently, I must have guessed wrong because I really did think they would get a bunch of people in today. But we only got just the normal people. That's what I told your mother, Jennifer. I said, we'll either get a bunch of people in here, maybe even some trolls too, or nobody will show up except for the normal people that come here. And I guess it was the second part. We got a couple of other people in the other day, but I actually did get one more subscriber a couple of days ago. One or two. Two, I think. Oh, God. I can't stop yawning. Sorry. Excuse me, guys. How's the baby doing today? Is he all perky and smiley or is he grumpy? I got coffee, Ken, but it's the last bit of the pot. It's not all that great. I think I'm going to have to go make some more. I'm making you yell, Ken? How am I making you yell? Because I'm yawning or because of the coffee? It shows we only have 3 people on. Not sure who that 3 is, but we got 6 likes, though, and there's no 6 people here. So maybe Recon did a like or somebody else did and just didn't come in. Yeah, good old YouTube is messing up. I got showing 2. Weird. Although my phone says 3. Can't make up its mind, I guess. Well, you guys are all awful quiet today. Florence is still making coffee, I guess. Well, I see the minimum wage didn't make it back into the plan like they wanted to do. That got chopped out. Although I think it's Romney and someone else wants to do another bill later on, but they only want they want to do like a $10 an hour, not 15. But even 10 is an improvement. Ugh, excuse me. Ah. Oh, dang. Okay, that proves it right there. I need some more coffee. All right, guys, I'll be back in just a couple minutes. I want to make a pot of coffee. Well, I'm back. I thought my wife was gonna make some coffee, but I guess she decided that, I should make it. What can you do? Florence, she might have lost connection again, I don't know. She's on her cell phone only works half decent when she's outside. She might have had to walk in and check on the baby or something. They don't have, Maxwell House over in, Ireland, do they, Florence? That's all I drink is Maxwell House. Although I'll drink Folgers if I have to, but I prefer Maxwell House. Folgers is the number 2 choice. Although for a while, Folgers was a lot cheaper and we were drinking Folgers. My mother was a real penny pincher, and I used to hate the coffee. She used to buy the cheapest stuff she could find, just trying to save whatever, a dollar or 50 cents or whatever. She'd buy that chuck full of nuts or something. It was, stuff was god awful. You drink instant Folgers, huh? Yeah. My grandmother, of course, back then they didn't have the coffee makers like now, but they did have I think they just came out with percolators back then, but they always drank instant. I think they drank Taster's Choice back then, which I used to like Taster's Choice. That was for instant coffee, that's what I liked the most. But Folgers was okay too, so was Maxwell House. Any one of those. I like the 8 o'clock coffee, probably even better than any of them, but usually you had to grind the beans. So Kenco, never heard of that one. That must be something from Ireland only. To fix my chair here. I rarely ever drink instant coffee anymore because between my wife and I and my kids who are all adults now, they come by, they're all coffee drinkers too. So we usually have a pot going several times a day, at least. We go through a lot of coffee here. I wasn't as picky when I was younger. When I was in the service in the Navy, I drank whatever there was. You know, the Navy, I don't know what they had for a brand, but it was some strong stuff. I know that much. They had these giant coffee pots. I don't know how many cups were in one, but must have been 100 cups in one at least. And of course, with a lot of people there, they'd have a couple of them going because if you got a 500-man crew on the ship I was on, plus we carried not all the time, but at times we carried up to 1,600 Marines. So we needed a lot of coffee. In the night, they always had coffee, but it was usually made in the afternoon. So if you were on watch or something at night, by 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever, when you really wanted some coffee, it was usually like really strong because it sat there all evening. That stuff you could melt a knife in it. In fact, I used to take sugar and milk in my coffee, but when I was in the Navy at nighttime, I drank it black with like 1 sugar in it because it was just so strong. You could put milk in it and it still didn't change the color. That's strong coffee. That's probably why I can drink it day or night now, because in the Navy, we drank that god-awful strong stuff all the time, and even though we make fairly strong coffee ourselves now, it wasn't as strong as the Navy's. Probably made me immune to their caffeine, I don't know. I assume Kenco is instant coffee, Florence? Is that the most popular brand in Ireland, Kenco? I'm assuming the US might even send coffee over to other countries, maybe under a different name. That's possible. I kind of thought maybe Ireland might have been tea drinkers as much as coffee drinkers, or maybe more, because from what I heard, England was primarily tea drinkers. But I guess the times have changed. Most likely, maybe they're drinking more coffee now. I don't know. I knew a few guys over in England. In fact, they actually did say they actually did drink tea. That's why I was kind of assuming they did. I mean, I don't know them personally, but I knew them when we used to play. When I was involved in Quake many years ago, and in fact, one of them bought a painting from me for a bar over there. I think I told you all that. You might not have been here then, but I did a painting of the old Marlboro Man, and someone from England bought it and put it in a pub over there in England. Yeah, I thought they were tea drinkers. Yeah. Of course, I'm sure they have plenty of coffee now, because I think like London, England especially, a lot of the bigger areas of England probably have plenty of coffee because of the tourism from the United States and other countries. It's funny, we don't think about where all that comes from. I'm assuming Ireland and England must grow tea there, because people from the United States came from England originally, in Ireland, and of course they had the Boston Tea Party and all that stuff back in the Revolutionary War days and stuff, and so I'm assuming they brought the tea thing with them before anybody ever started on coffee. Of course, I think most of the coffee comes from Jamaica anyway. Jamaica and a few other little countries. South America, somewhere. I'm not sure if the U.S. can grow coffee or not. They might be able to, probably can. They may in Florida even, but I've never heard of it, but I suppose it's possible. I would think coffee beans would be a climate thing. There she is, Florence. She was on the phone. That's why she didn't answer you. Well, Ken and Florence, I guess my idea of having this particular chat here for the subjects that I picked was not a good subject. Well, olive oil and olives, I'm sure. I said, I guess picking the subjects that I picked today for the live chat about tax refunds and COVID and stimulus didn't draw anybody like I thought they would. I thought sure we'd draw a bunch of people. That's good. I'm glad she liked it. Yeah, I'm the one I picked it out for her. I got it from J.C. Penney's. It's real. What did you buy her for her birthday, Jennifer? Did you get her anything yet? You probably ain't got a chance to get out of the house yet to get anything yet. Well, we've got a couple of them around here, I think. But I know a lot of them have closed down because J.C. Penney is like right at the bankruptcy stage. I heard there was going to be somebody going to buy them out. Not sure who yet, but I did hear somebody was going to buy them out. I know they closed a lot of them. I think they closed like 30% of their stores or something like that, an enormous amount. My internet must be lagging pretty bad tonight. Y'all not responding very quickly, so I don't know what the problem is tonight. Or if everybody's just kind of not really watching or something. I don't know. Guess we don't have enough excitement in here. We gotta liven it up. Well, that sounds good. Although I don't know, I'm getting a bit burned out on pork myself, but strangely, I used to love pork chops, and I actually liked them even better after they were cooked and you put them in the refrigerator overnight, whatever. I'd go get one out of the refrigerator cold, and just give me a salt shaker and sit there and watch TV and put a little salt on it and gnaw on a pork chop while I'm watching TV. Just like fried chicken. I like fried chicken better cold than hot. We'll get it and eat it when it's hot, but then we'll have leftover fried chicken. My wife put it in the refrigerator, and later that night, I go grab a chicken leg or a breast or something and some salt, a salt shaker, and watch TV and munch on it while I'm watching TV. So Jennifer, you didn't answer me. Does my video look better now that I got this better camera? I guess if I take my glasses off, it might help. Geez, Florence, it only took her a half an hour to say hi. Get on her. Give her the devil. Well, guys, I'm gonna go check and see if my coffee's done. Um, I know probably I hope it's not too boring for you guys. I'm just sitting here hoping some people may jump in and give us some view time and maybe not. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. But anyway, I'll be right back, hopefully with a cup of coffee. All right, I'm back. Got my coffee made. Florence, I got a question for you. How do you feel about taking a few pictures with your camera and email them to me? I like to do something from Ireland, a painting, something in the landscape. If you got some country around or whatever, even with a small cottage in it or something, or I wouldn't mind doing a painting of something from Ireland. It might make a good lesson. Are you up for that, or would you rather not? I mean, you can do it with your cell phone. Yeah, I have to have my coffee. I actually haven't had that much coffee today, Ken, as much as I usually do, because I just was too busy to make any more. So we made up one pot this morning. That was it. And of course, my wife drinks it too, and um, so it wasn't just for me. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Let me give you my email address here. It's pretty simple to remember, but I'll post it over here. Look on the scrolling banner over here, and I should have it there, right there. Just write that email address down right there, and if you takes a few pictures or so, just send them to that email address right there. I appreciate it. Since I can't exactly go there, I guess I could probably find some online, but it's not quite the same thing as getting, a real photograph from somebody. I did do a whole series on England already. I don't know, you probably have seen them if you watched some of my videos there. I think it was a 10 painting series on England that I did. And that's when I was studying under Michael James Smith, who actually is from England. That would be traditional painting, not it wouldn't be the wet on wet like Bob Ross did or anything. Totally traditional, the old-fashioned style painting, which takes a lot longer, a lot more work, but actually a lot better paintings too. Hmm. Excuse me, keep burping for some reason. Let me know when you have that email, and I'll remove it so it won't be in the way. I know some of that stuff sticking up there is annoying for people a lot. Because I think if it annoys me, it must annoy everybody else. Okay, I'll get rid of it. There you go. All right, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. Send me as many as you like. 3, 4, 2, 3, whatever, 5. I don't care. I'll pick one out of the bunch probably. I may even zoom in and just take a section of it or something. Who knows? This is actually behind me is our office. We actually have a little sink over there and a little refrigerator and stuff in the office. I know it kind of. I was looking at the back. I'm going, "Why it looks like a kitchen over there, but it's not really. It's like a little kitchenette." At one time, many many years ago, before it was the office, it was my me and my wife's bedroom. That's why the kitchenette's there too, so that you could, get a microwave and a little refrigerator and whatever. Nothing to cook on, just the microwave, but the refrigerator and all that stuff and a sink. But we ended up changing it into an office. And our bedroom was next door, which is actually huge, twice as big as this office. But we needed this area here because of we needed the sink because of the state when we take care of handicapped people here. So they're all special needs. So we have to be able to lock up the medicine and stuff like that and have a place to wash up and be sanitary, things like that. So we needed this area for that and put all the paperwork. Uh, in spurts, Ken. I try to paint more because of YouTube, but I haven't been pushing a lot out lately because I've already got so many up there that they're not being watched much. So I've been waiting for some people to just watch them. And but I do have several already planned to put up on YouTube, and I may do one on different days, or it depends how I feel. I might even paint 2 or 3 of them in one session, one after another. Because sometimes I'll plan on painting, especially if I'm working with oil, Ken, I will paint, maybe 3 paintings that are similar with most of the same colors, so I don't waste paint. And that's what I'll do sometimes. I'll plan on doing 2 or 3 of them where I have mostly the same colors that I'm using on one as I am the other. They may look different, but they're still the same colors. And so I try to plan it that way if I can to save money because believe it or not, it is pretty costly to paint. There's been times I've painted several in one day. And excuse me, then I may not paint for days or even weeks. But then I'll get inspired or just all of a sudden stop wanting to paint a lot. And then there'll be times I may paint every day for a couple of months. It just depends how I feel because you do have to really feel like painting when you do. And you have to have the time to know that you're not going to get interrupted because once you start, I don't like to stop. At least that's the way I am. Some people are fine with it. Now, there's some paintings, if it's like a really, really big painting and I know I'm going to be painting on it for, weeks or a week or a month or whatever, that doesn't really matter. I'll paint for maybe 3 or 4 hours and then I'll paint again maybe the next day or maybe a couple of days later and then continue on. And sometimes I'm waiting for maybe parts of it to dry because I really want it to dry for a reason. Because the paint may be thicker and I need to put thinner paint on top of it or whatever reason it is, then I'll wait for a little while. And it won't be really dry, but it'll be drier. Put it that way. But there are times that, like I will paint. When I did the England series, which was 12 paintings, I basically went one after the other. I might skip a few days in between some of them, but once in a while I'd do one after another, literally. One day I'd do one and usually it'd take a couple of days, 2 or 3 days each. Then I may just go ahead and jump into another one. Then I jump into another one. And then I might wait, a week or something, then go to another one. But that whole series, I went right straight from one to the other. There was nothing in between. And at the same time, I was actually teaching somebody, my nephew, how to paint. So basically, it did take a bit longer to do because I was teaching him at the same time. Which really made the process a lot slower. Oh, yes. Yeah, I've answered that question before. I have paintings in galleries now. There's a gallery the next town over that's been I've had my paintings in there for years now. Haven't sold that many of them. I've sold, just a couple. You don't sell that many in a gallery usually. I've sold more prints in the gallery than I have paintings. Prints, I've sold probably 20 prints at least. Prints are by far the bigger seller because they're cheaper. And a lot of people and I live in this small town area, and it's country. These are country, for the lack of a better term, country hicks, most of them. They don't really appreciate art on the level that a lot of collectors do. They just want a nice picture, which means they want something cheap, something inexpensive. So most of the time, they would gravitate toward a print because they think about it this way: a print, a small 5x7. I think I get like $10 for one. Um, an 8x10 is like $20. 11x14 is like $30. Well, you can go to Walmart and buy a painting fairly good size any day of the week for, $20, $30, whatever. And that's what people in this area are used to doing. So you can't really compete with Walmart when it comes to real paintings. You just can't do it. And a lot of people in this area, they don't understand that. They just think a painting is a painting, you know, and it's not. It's not an original. The ones that sell at Walmart are really they're just a copy of an original, and they're done with a machine. Totally different. It's the same thing as if you buy a print from my website. Same idea as buying it from Walmart, basically, but it is my stuff, my work, my signature on it. If you buy it on canvas, it's probably going to cost a bit more than Walmart because it's a better quality canvas, a better quality picture. But that's how it goes. Sometimes I won't. I actually went probably a couple years without painting once or twice. I was just too busy doing other things to paint, and I didn't have much inspiration at the time because I was just too busy. And other reasons like my parents being both sick and passing away and stuff like that, and I just did not feel like painting at the time because I was busy taking my father back and forth to the hospital for, gosh, a couple years of that time, and a lot of times it was in the middle of the night, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, he'd have a heart attack or something, and I had to bring him to the hospital, and that would be a long process, weeks, a month sometimes, every day I'd be going to the hospital. My mother, the same thing, she had problems, and then eventually they both went into a nursing home, so I was at the nursing home very often, bringing them something, or sometimes I'd go pick them up and bring them out for a ride or to go to Walmart or something, and like my father, he couldn't walk at that stage, and he had to use, one of them scooters, so you had to, unload the scooter and get him in it and get him out. I don't go by numbers. I have no idea how many paintings I've done. None. It's in the hundreds, but I have no idea the exact number. I don't keep track of them. I have sold series, not series of paintings. There was a place in New Hampshire. It was called Hillwinds Resort. It was which was next to one of the skiing places, the big skiing mountain there, Cannon Mountain. But that place had like a lounge, a restaurant, really fancy restaurant. Um, they rented out little cabins and stuff like that, really nice ones, like little condos. Like when the new owners took over, I knew them vaguely. My wife actually worked for them at another motel. She was the head of housekeeping there, and so I met them, and they needed some paintings when they were opening up. They didn't have any for the whole place. So I agreed to put in, I think it was about 7 of my paintings, I think. Maybe a couple more, I don't know, 7 or 8 of them. And that's back, I'm talking about a long, long time ago. I had been painting for a while, but maybe 5 years or so, but I had started painting wet on wet, I think, I had painted it for, a year or so for wet on wet. But like I said, I had about 7 or 8 of them done, and they needed the paintings. And I put them in kind of on a loaner type of a thing to show, have my card information and a price on them and whatever. And it may have been more than 7. It might have been more like 10. But anyway, there was one in there of a dock on the water with a boat and stuff and some old fishing camps or whatever and stuff. And it was a real popular painting. And consequently, after they had it there for about 2 months, somebody stole it, which really irritated me because a lot of places, they won't reimburse you for them. But they were nice enough to do that. They actually paid the painting. They paid for it. And then after about 2 weeks, they called me up and asked me if they would, if I would give them a price for all of them. They ended up buying all my paintings for the resort. And they still have them today, as far as I know, and that was a long time ago. But anyway, I've had paintings in a gallery in Manchester, New Hampshire. I've sold them all over the place. Like I said, I got this one in England, 1 or 2 in England. It might have been 2 in England that I've sold. All over the United States, I've sold them to different people over the internet or wherever. Different galleries I've sold in here and there. I put them in restaurants before and sold 1 or 2 here and there. A lot of it's word by mouth too, you know. But I've sold quite a few over the years. But I probably have 50 out in my garage right now. At least. There's probably at least 50 of them that are done and ready to sell. But times have been hard for people with the COVID stuff. So they're not really selling that well right now because people can't get out to go to the gallery. The gallery's policy right now is, excuse me, they only allow a couple of people in because the gallery's not really that huge. It's got like 1, 2, 3, about 4 or 5 rooms in that gallery. So they only allow a couple of people at a time. Now, if you come in a group, they'll let the whole group go in. But and they're only open for limited number of hours now. So that cuts down any chance of buying anything because their time is very limited on when they're even open anymore. But I mean, it's price-wise, that may be the next question. What will I sell them for? Probably the cheapest I normally sell a painting for is $125, $150. The most I've sold them for, $2,000. And that's not very many of them, like 1. I've sold some for $1,000, many for $500, $600 a piece, $700. It varies on the size, what the content of the painting is, how long it takes to paint it, things like that, whether it's framed or not. But I got this paintings of mine everywhere, all over the U.S. New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, Massachusetts, New York, California, Indiana, Missouri, Kentucky. I think there's a couple over there in Kentucky. At least 4 or 5 of them in Texas. No, I doubt I could get a painting show on TV. That's kind of a who you know type of a thing. And at my age, they probably wouldn't want me anyway. I'm way older than Bob Ross was, that's for sure. and Bill Alexander when he was on TV. But no, I highly doubt that. Not just that, Bob Ross and Bill Alexander did not get paid to paint on TV. People don't know that, but they never got a dime. Not a dime. For all the years them guys painted on TV, they never got paid at all. That's a fact. You can look it up. They didn't get paid ever. Oh, sure it can be. Sure it can be. And that's why a lot of people actually watched them on TV, was because it was very relaxing to them. Especially Bob Ross, because he had that real mellow voice and everything. It was a very calming thing. But Bob Ross did die a millionaire, but he made his money, as I said, you can verify this even online. He made his money by selling paint, because the Bob Ross paint is pretty expensive stuff. His own palettes, his own easels, paintbrushes. His paintbrushes are very expensive. Just one of them 2-inch paintbrushes is like $25 a piece. If you buy any of his other brushes, like the fan brushes and stuff like that, you're talking $10 to $20 a piece. To buy a complete set of Bob Ross paintbrushes is probably going to cost you at least $200 if you want all of them, all the good ones. That's the minimum. His paint is usually at least $10 a tube for the smaller tubes. Excuse me, the bigger ones are even more than that. He even has his own odorless paint thinner with his name on it. That's where he made his money. His blush, the bucket that he uses for cleaning paintbrushes, those are probably $25, $25. Those again have his name on them. He had a pretty good profit margin on selling all that stuff. And then on top of that, selling the videos. That's probably where he made a lot of his money there too, was selling the videos and books that he did. They did books on how to paint, like the Joy of Painting book. He probably did at least 5 or 6 books, at least. And those books, they made a lot of money too. So, he died a millionaire, even though he died pretty young. But it wasn't from the TV show paying him, because they didn't pay him nothing. He did it all to teach people how to paint. There was actually a lot of controversy about Bob Ross, about his painting style, wet on wet. Of course, he actually used to paint with William Alexander. There actually is a couple paintings out there that they both worked on. They're worth quite a bit of money. But so they kind of got upset with each other. I mean, Alexander got a bit upset with Bob Ross because he started the show too. Because Bill Alexander was actually the first one that did it. And then Bob Ross went on to do his own show with PBS. But Bob Ross is from Florida, right here in Florida. He used to live in Daytona. Been there many times. In fact, probably when he was painting on the beach, I've probably seen him without even knowing it. Because I remember people painting on the beach there often. And that was, a long, long time ago. Because I used to ride my bike over there to Daytona. But a lot of the masters, the so-called masters that do traditional painting, really, really frowned on the wet on wet style, because they didn't really believe that was really an authentic painting style. It wasn't really meant to be. It was meant to teach people how to paint and get results fairly quickly, and to encourage them to start painting. And that's what I try to do, even with this channel, is to encourage people to start painting. and then move up to like traditional painting. I've got a painting channel. It's right here on YouTube. And hopefully someday, maybe it'll give me a little bit of revenue. Who knows? But no, you could, if you you'll never get a painting channel on TV or anything that's going to pay a revenue. That's just not going to happen. I don't believe it, because PBS has that. They've got so many reruns of Bob Ross and Bill Alexander and Buck Paulson and Annette and Kowalski and a few other ones. They don't. They can do them reruns forever, and people will still watch them. They're still watching them today. I still see Bob Ross on Channel 5 certain days of the week, 1 or 2 days a week during the day. You got to catch them just right. Sometimes on really, really late at night. But you'd never get a revenue for doing it, because PBS is really all donated. Everything you see on PBS, they don't pay anybody really. It's all donations for the public broadcasting. And none of the other networks I've ever seen ever really wanted to promote something like that. Unfortunately, none of them had enough brains to know that it actually probably would have been well worth the money to actually pay somebody to do that on TV. Yeah, Bob Ross died quite a long time ago. Yeah, he was very young. He died of cancer. Bob Ross died on July 4th, 1995, at the age of 52 in Orlando, Florida. He was actually, before he did the painting show, he was a master sergeant in the Marines, and he retired after 20 years in the Marines. So he didn't do that channel for too many years, really. I mean, it was quite a few, but not that many. He got tired of yelling. He said it when he was a master sergeant, because he was definitely was like a drill sergeant or whatever, and he was always yelling at the men and whatever, and he got sick of doing that and decided he wasn't going to yell anymore. Period. I mean, he never did after that. Hello, whoever else just joined the channel. ASD, how you doing? Well, Bob Ross and Bill Alexander kind of handled the painting with a knife thing, even though they used brushes too, but they kind of covered that somewhat too. But like I said, there's no point in doing it on PBS because they don't pay you. That's kind of a mute thing to do. Are you talking about Leonard Avmoff? Leonard Avmoff died too, several years ago. I learned from him too, but he wasn't on TV. But he was incredibly famous for his paintings, though. His paintings go for a minimum of like $10,000. Yeah, ASD. I thought I would try a channel with a different topic. You know, people have been really confused about tax refund stuff and the stimulus and COVID and whatever. I thought we'd just do something on those three subjects, even though some of it's political. Figured, what the heck? It's during the day. Why not? But nobody really showed up except for our normal members here, which is fine. But I was hoping some other people might jump in and chat and kind of help give us some live hours too. That would have been nice, but it didn't work out that way. So we're just talking about other things like painting. The beginning of the stream, though, I did talk about tax refunds and stimulus and stuff like that before anybody joined. Different error codes that people were getting for tax refunds and whatever, and what they meant. Well, it's all political, basically, yeah. Well, COVID is and it isn't. But unfortunately, the government is involved in it because they're the ones that are getting the vaccine and stuff. In fact, last night was dead. I mean, I expected last night to be busy for the live chat because, in fact, Brad was supposed to be on last night and he didn't even show up again. I'll have to text him later, give him the devil. Oh, the stimulus is definitely political. That's why I thought it'd be busy today with this live stream because the Senate's voting on it today. I mean, a lot of that stuff's up in the air, so I figured this would be a great time to do a live stream on all of those topics, which I don't know. I guess maybe YouTube isn't letting people know that this stream is available. Of course, it goes out to my subscribers, but it's not unless people look under the live category, they're probably not seeing it. It's because they're not recommending it yet. If I can ever get them live hours and get to be a paid, what do you call it? Get monetized, and then they'll with the ads and stuff. I'll be getting more recommendations off to other people's videos, which will help draw some people here. Oh, the Senate did voted okay because last I knew they were still haggling over it. I mean, they did say they thought it was going to go through. I haven't checked lately here to see if it passed the Senate or not yet. So you're saying it passed the Senate now officially, and now it goes to the House? Because if it did, it's as good as done. Okay, Ken, no problem. Because definitely the House will pass it. It'll be just a matter of getting it there and getting it done, and then getting it over to Biden's desk to get him to sign it. Yeah. Well, that's good. That means they'll be back to the House hopefully Monday. So, yeah, I did hear that they were like 4 days ahead of schedule, so that's great because the last I knew it was gonna be going they figured that the House would vote on it Thursday, and I did hear, um, somewhere that they were 4 days ahead of schedule, which is fantastic because if it's 4 days ahead of schedule, then there should be some stimulus checks, the first week or so of, well, let's see, what's today, the 7th? 6th. Yeah, we could very easily get them by the 10th, I suppose, it's possible. 10th or the 11th, they need to be definitely get that thing passed before the 14th, so they said 4 days ahead of schedule, so it should be done deal by the 10th, I would think, so that, unemployment won't get, stopped. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if the House actually voted on it tomorrow, it would definitely get done faster. Yeah, welcome back, Ken. Florence, are you still with us? Or did you fall asleep? She probably had to make another cup of coffee. Keep going. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, today is the 6th. They may be faster than that, depending on when the House votes it. If they vote it Monday and Biden signs it within a day or two, then they'll be even faster than that. No, that's been taken out. Minimum wage has been taken out of the plan. I know Romney wants to do a proposal as a separate bill, I guess, but he only wants $10 an hour. Well, I'm not real worried about it, ASD. Whatever happens, happens. But I am concerned about it because I have a lot of time invested and I don't want it to be wasted. Because you only have, as you know, you only get so much. You get 1 year to get that 4,000 hours. At the current rate, I'm about 300 to 400 hours short if I continue the way I'm going right now because I've averaged it out. So I'm going to I'll do some live streams during the day and try to pick up some more time here and there, and hopefully hit something that people will come and watch and get a lot of people in. It's been suggested that I change the theme of my channel, but there's nothing else that I want to change the theme to really. Um, I could change it to painting and other things or something, I suppose, but um, that's what I know a lot about is painting. So that's why it is the way it is. How much do you make off Twitch? Honestly, how much do you make a month on Twitch? And here is the difference. As a gamer, you would obviously make way more because that's the niche everybody is following on Twitch. Okay, but are you making $100 a month, $50 a month, or more? Because if you've been there for 2.5 years, I would think you'd be making more than that. Because I did go to Twitch after I think you and somebody else recommended it, and the painting channels are very minimal. They're very extremely minimal. Most of them only have about 20 members. One has a few hundred or so, but that's really nothing. That's just not much at all. There's just no way you can make anything on Twitch with those kind of numbers for painting. I wish you could, but you can't. The link, you mean for to join YouTube? Oh yeah, I have a link that people can join YouTube with, sure. And I did sign up for Twitch. If you look on Twitch, you should be able to find me under Kimcaster Art on Twitch. So I actually did start something there, but nothing's been happening with it at all. Of course, I haven't been paying much attention to it, but I haven't seen anybody join me really at all. Excuse me. I forgot to mute myself.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, ASD.
Okay, so you want to know about Twitch, huh? You want to know about what I make, huh? Well, to tell you the truth, what you said is 100% wrong. See, with Twitch is you have to have a threshold of $100 before you get any kind of payout, right? And yes, I have hit that before. I've hit more than that before.
Yeah.
So, one of my biggest payouts has been over $300 in a month.
What do you mean by a threshold of $100?
There's a threshold you have to hit on Twitch before you can get a payout.
Oh, so you have to accumulate that much before you get it?
Yes, exactly. Okay. And I've hit that more than once. More than once. Have I made stupid amounts of money? No. The money's there. When the money's there, it's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm due for another payout probably within the next 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
It won't be anything major, but it's a payout.
Yeah. So let me get this straight. As long as you're accumulating, it doesn't matter until you hit $100.
Exactly.
3 months or 4 months or whatever, and then eventually they'll send you a payout.
Yeah, whatever month. From the 1st to the 30th, you can make. You have the opportunity. The chance to make $100. Once you hit that $100 threshold, by the end of the month, right? If you do, then by the 15th of next month, you'll get a payout.
I see.
Unless it's on like a Saturday or Sunday, then you get the following Friday. If you don't, right? If you don't, it rolls over until you do. So say like you make $98.97 by the end of the month. You don't hit the payout, right? Next month, fucking boom, there's your $100. Someone comes to your channel, throws 300 bits at you, which is $3. There's your payout, and everything extra is icing on the cake. So the cake is $100. Anything extra on that is the icing. Like, this is why I've been telling you should join my Discord, because we help people. That's what my Discord's about. Support for support. Now, other people are going to say, well, support for support is bullshit, blah, blah, blah. But I'm sorry, for me personally, I have a small community. I have a YouTube link, I have a Twitch link, right? You're able to post in both of them if you're going live on either one of them.
Well, the thing is, I'm not sure I have an option on this platform
Yes, you do.
to do Twitch. I do. I haven't looked yet, but I know
You
it'll
have
do Twitter, I think.
you have
and
an all right. What are you using to
Instagram.
stream on right now?
I don't use nothing except for StreamYard. That's it.
No,
So
what I
use-
mean to stream your YouTube thing right now.
That's it. StreamYard. That's it. StreamYard.
Have
does
you
it
ever
right.
have you tried OBS Studios?
Yep, I hate it. Don't like it at all.
Have you ever
Ridiculous.
learned how to do it? Because there's
Yeah,
so many
I've
things,
used it.
different things I could show
Yeah.
you that you've never even learned. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I've
Like
used
overlays,
it before.
alerts.
I've used it before, but
What version did you use?
the newest one. I just stopped using it.
No,
just the other day.
no. There's different one. There's Slobs, which is Streamlabs OBS, which is garbage. And there's the one I use, which is OBS Stream Elements.
That's why I use the elements. Yeah.
You just there's no, because if you use Stream Elements, you wouldn't be saying it's trash. Because I use Stream Elements.
I don't. There's just. It's trash to me because I don't need it. Because
but it's free.
Let me finish. If you're using StreamYard, you're not using your computer's resources like you are with OBS. Because of my lag, because of my DSL, this works better because I'm not using my computer's resources. I'm going to the cloud. That's what this does, is go to the cloud. So they supply the resources that I need.
All right. So when you're doing this, does it give you a stream key?
I don't need a key, no.
No? All right. Well, with OBS and all that you do. But with OBS, the reason why it was trash for you is do you know what your video bitrate is?
No, I don't know.
No,
right now.
Exactly. So the video bitrate is what gives the clarity of your stream on OBS. Knowing your video bitrate helps people in a massive amounts of ways. My internet is sucky, just like yours. We both have DSL. My speeds are 10 up, 10 down, 1 up, right? Unless I'm tethering to my phone, right? Unless I'm tethering to this, then I get slightly better speeds. Recommended video bitrate is 2,500 kilobytes a second when using megabytes per second for your upload.
Well, mine
Yes,
is
this
actually
is something I
even worse
researched.
than yours. Mine's even worse than yours. My upload is half of what yours is, and that's the most
All right,
important
so
part.
half. All right, so half of what mine is. So I got 1, so 0.89 if you want to get technical. So half of that would be about 0.53. So your video bitrate, right? Your video bitrate would probably be around the same as mine, which is 380 kilobytes a second.
That's probably about right. That's probably, in fact, I'm not even sure I'm getting the full half of a meg upload. I'm sure I'm not.
Who's your carrier?
AT&T.
AT&T is broadband.
AT&T is also DSL.
I've talked to them. I asked them about DSL, and they said we don't do DSL.
Well,
We're broadband.
I have DSL. I guarantee you, I have DSL.
Wow, I didn't think AT&T still did DSL.
Oh yeah, they do.
Because they told me out where I am, they don't do it.
Well, they lied to you because you're not in Florida.
No, I'm not in Florida. I'm in North Carolina.
But they still do North Carolina. They still do it.
3 miles. Get this, though. 3 miles. I called my mayor about the internet. I said, bitching the internet company's not going to work. I'm going straight to the mayor because he's the one who runs the town. In the small community I do live in, because I don't even consider this town a community. So I called him, and he told me, you have no idea how bad it is for me right now. I said, you're the mayor of the freaking town. Please tell me how bad it is. Because I'm a content creator on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, and Glimish now too. So please tell me how bad it is for you. He goes, I have 5 kids and 2 grandkids, all which use the internet, all living in this town. I win. I said, so what are your plans to fix this if you're trying to run for next year? He goes, we need $100,000. I said, why? Why do you need $100,000? He goes, the broadband companies are 3 miles outside of this town. 3 measly miles. I said, okay. He goes, and it takes $100,000 to get it inside the city limits, and then not to people who want it. I said, shit. He goes, tell me about it. And as soon as they give it to put in my hand, that's the first thing I'm doing with it. I said, well, what about the firework display? He goes, the 4th of July? I said, yeah, what about that? Don't you get like $118,000 for the 4th of July for one day versus internet for a year and bring population back to the people? Because your numbers are dwindling, dude. What's it going to be? So a town of 3? He goes, honestly, I don't know. I mean, come on. We barely have a police station. We don't even have an ambulance station. Our hospital is a walk-in clinic.
Mhm. Well,
Tell
all
me,
I know
dude.
is I live way out in the country. There is no fiber optic out here at all. Everything is DSL. In fact, the phone lines here were put in back in the 1950s. They haven't even been changed yet. Half of the
What's your population?
trunks have bad wires. That's from the engineers, and AT&T won't replace them.
Mm.
They can't.
What's
It's not cost effective to them, so they won't do it. That's why they still have
what's your
DSL in
population?
my area, and they didn't even have that until I put a petition up and had everybody in the area sign it, and they finally put a CO in so that people could get DSL.
What's your population? Do you know?
In this little area right here, probably be 800 people.
Because slightly less than mine, but not by much. 1250 is what I got.
But most of them
But
don't even have internet. The older retired people, they don't give a damn
yeah,
about it.
well, yeah, because they're old and retired, they don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, all they want to do is sit on their porch, rain that rock, and go, you go to
Yeah,
that, go
AT&T
here.
already said there would have to be thousands and thousands of people out here before they would even consider putting anything faster
See,
out here.
yeah. Well, the difference between me and you and that, my town is the old mayor signed a contract, which is not illegal to do because they already said it isn't. They signed a contract to have, a small little community have DSL in here for essentially to monopolize, their internet. So they're little town. We got all these people. We're gonna give them your shitty internet better than nothing. So I'm like, yeah, that's not working no more there, buddy. So you need to fix something. And he said he's been working on it for 3 years. Now, like I said, I use OBS Stream Elements. I stream even on YouTube from it. I do YouTube, Twitch, and Glimish when Glimish isn't down because it's an alpha.
Yeah.
So there are things I can show you that I guarantee you didn't learn. And the reason why you see inside my face, my camera's right there on the other monitor. See, if my camera was longer, you'd be able to see it. But this is my, actually, I think I can just move the thing.
Well, since I got the new camera,
There we go.
My video has improved.
Yeah, it has. I will say that. Now, see, I'm using the C615, right? I'm using the C615. If I want really good quality for a camera and audio, camera, I could stop the camera, turn on my Wi-Fi, use this baby, and you would see a vast difference in camera quality.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is the C920. It's definitely working way better.
Oh, well, yeah, the C920 is way better than the C615.
Yeah.
Hands down. Yeah. But I've got something that is better than the C920, C922. It's my iPhone 12 Pro Max. Mm-hmm. And the reason I say that is because I have an app on here that I bought. It's like $8.35 with taxes. $7.99 without everything. That it turns my audio. Actually, I can just show you. It's called the Epoch Cam, right? So I find the little app. There it is. I'm gonna hold up to the screen. As soon as it focuses, it'll focus in a second. All my little apps that you see work, you damn bastard. There we go. Epoch Cam Pro. And with that thing, it turns my phone into a webcam. And it is phenomenal. I've had people go, did you get a better internet? I said, no, I just got a new webcam, kind of. They said, what'd you do? ePodcam Pro.
Well, I actually can use my phone to do live streams on YouTube
Well, yeah, that's streaming on
with
YouTube.
no
I'm talking
problem.
about just a
No
webcam. I
problem.
can't do that.
Yeah, I
I
can.
see. I wasn't fortunate enough to get thousands of subs on YouTube. I have 114.
Mm-hmm.
So you got 2 point something thousand. So you're way ahead. You're way ahead of me.
Right.
Period.
Well, they got I actually have another app that I used to use. I did try it and test it. It's not the same one you have, but I have another app on my phone that I
Well,
did
what phone do
test
you
and it
have?
worked. Samsung.
Yeah. See, there's one for Samsung too. It's
Yeah.
not by Elgato because Elgato didn't put it out yet.
Yeah, I've got one of them that it did work fine. I had no problem with it at all until I found out that I could live stream anyway.
Now I'm going to try something.
Ken, you and Florence still here? I hate to ignore you guys.
Now, see, I got a little POS tripod, right? Ken, I got a little POS tripod. And we're going to try something. Stop cam. Audio. All right, settings. So right now it's got the C615, but I'm going to switch it to me PodCam, which is right here. Close it off. Do you see how the better quality? See how the better quality? That's from my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when I'm on my stream, and this is what he is. The best thing about this app, I know it's not a big thing, but I do like it, is this. One little button turns my background into a green screen. It's not the best green screen. I've made a better one in the back. In the back that you see right there, that little sheet green, that's my green screen.
Yeah.
I made that for like $16.
Well, this thing right, I can with this yard stream yard I use here, it does come with the chroma color where I can do a green screen. No problem.
Yeah.
I just don't have one behind me now.
Well, yeah, no, that if you have a green screen, your chroma color is for your green screen.
Yeah.
The app has one built in.
Yep. And but my green screen's out in the shop. It's huge. It's like 16 feet by 8 feet or something like that.
So here, here's a stupid question. Because I've seen you, I've been to your videos before. So the best thing that every streamer and YouTuber needs to ask himself, what are you trying to do with your channel? What do you want to do with your channel? Because if it's in the sole purpose of making money, you're in the wrong business.
No, I'm doing what I want to do already. I'm teaching people how to paint.
Well, that's good, but that's what you want to do. How do you want your channel?
Making something is not bad because that's how you buy your paint and canvas and all that stuff.
True.
And make it support itself. But to say that not making money is something that won't happen is actually wrong because I know people.
No, I'm not saying you won't make money. I'm not saying you won't hit that at all. You will hit it. I guarantee you will hit it. But my question is, so what do you want your YouTube channel to be? Like, how do you want your YouTube channel to grow?
Well, it grows by people watching the videos to learn how to paint. That's the main thing right there. And to learn how to.
So you do So you want to do tutorials?
Well, yeah, that's exactly. Obviously, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Which is good. Which is really good.
What I do.
Because I've actually watched your tree tutorials, and the same technique you use for your trees is the same technique I would use for my painting when I do my trees. Right? Mm-hmm. Difference is I use a palette knife, a little triangle thing. I start the base, go up, to a tip, and all that. Which I know you've been wondering about my space at, and videos like that are coming. Just they're not going to be on the gaming channel. They're going to be on a little playlist. It's non-gaming. Because it's where I have my reviews, vlogs, and just regular bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know. Have you watched any of my videos?
No, I haven't had time to with
Exactly.
we've had a lot of people. A lot of people have been sick here, critically
Mm.
sick, and I'm
Yeah, I
barely
know.
getting
COVID-19
time.
hits everybody. My aunt back in Massachusetts had COVID.
Yeah, we got somebody here right now that has it, so that we're dealing with. So,
Yeah,
and not only that, but I have a son that's dying.
that sucks. I'm
So
sorry.
that's probably more important than anything else.
Well, yeah, of course it is. That should be your main focus is your family.
Yep.
Your
Yep.
YouTube channel will still be here. Just because you don't get the
Yep.
hours right away,
Yep.
it'll still be
Exactly.
here.
Exactly.
Take your time for your family first. IRL before URL. I always tell everybody that.
Yeah, I always do that anyway.
And that, you'd be surprised. That wasn't even from me. That was by a fellow streamer, right? Who streams maybe 2 days a week. He's a partner, but he puts in long hours. He's got his own business. He does a bunch of different shit. He's a Twitch streamer. He's a decent dude, right? He's a decent guy. Other than the Discord you have you thought about joining other Discords?
I actually belong to several other Discords, but they're gamer Discords of old friends from Quake. And I do
Okay,
post
so
there. I do post on there too.
do they come by?
We had a few on here the other night, but you weren't on it that night.
No. Last night, I was actually
Not
collaborating
last
with
night.
somebody.
This was like 3 or 4 nights ago. We actually had like 15 people on, and
Nice.
several
Very
of them were
nice.
from Discord.
Well, like I said, with my Discord, we try to help each other out.
Yeah.
I've got a small little, I got a small group of people, not much, like maybe 5 or 6 people who come by
Yeah. Well,
religiously.
in fact,
If they can.
that same night, I actually sold 3 different things on my website through this channel,
Very cool.
through the
Very
live
cool.
stream.
If I had the money, I'd be like, yo, let me get that ping with the trees. No, because those trees are freaking nice. I like the sunrise one. No, I don't know if it was a sunrise or sunset, but you saw with the yellow circle, you just brush real quick across and kind of blended it out. Then you think, I'm like, dude, that's fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I've been telling people about your channel too. I've even dropped your link for live streaming in my freaking Discord.
Oh, cool. That's great.
Yeah, and I said, guys, he's doing painting. He's doing painting. He's 65 and starting his career on YouTube. But nobody talks about that. You mean nobody talks about the people who live their life, who've been been where we are, and they're just now learning about YouTube and all that stuff. My mother's 67, and she's somewhat of a gamer. She wants to be on my Twitch channel when I get my retro console. So I'm thinking like once a week, like maybe every Friday, do a gaming stream, a retro stream with my mom sitting beside me playing Mario 3. She's addicted to Mario. Don't ask. Yeah, oh my god. If it's not Mario, it's fucking Skyrim. This chick is psycho. No, I can't. Dude, I'm telling you, she is not right in the head. She is psycho. She'll play Skyrim, get married, right, in the game, go up to the third of the world and kick her husband off the edge and do it all over again. Gotta go, Kim. Trying to make the stream tonight. Are you streaming tonight?
Yes. 10:45.
10:45. All right.
Yeah.
If I'm not,
we'll catch you later. Have a good night.
What's it? Saturday.
Yes.
All right. If I'm not busy collaborating with somebody, because I think I do have a collaboration with somebody tonight. If they cancel it all, I will try to make it.
Alrighty, we'll catch you then.
All right, but I gotta go because I have a meeting to go to.
All right. Well, take care.
All right. Take it easy, guys.
All right.
Go give this guy a sub and follow him on everything.
All right. Have a good night. We'll see you tonight if you come on. Ken, we'll catch you later. Have a good night. Appreciate you coming. I think you and I are the only ones that are left here anyway, unless you're already gone. I assume Florence is gone too. Most likely she is. I'm going to leave this up for a little bit longer, I think. Not long, but a little bit. I'm going to go grab a cigarette, probably.